Hello everyone, welcome to today's lecture. It's day number 3 and I'm a bit early today because I wanted to show you something interesting and then we can move to the opening segment that we have to learn today. So a big thanks to everyone who's already here. I hope that you can hear me well and that everything is good. So yeah, it seems like we began. Just want to know if people can hear me well. Yeah, welcome to Maria Almeida, Geeta Ritesh, Omkar Brahmabhat, Sarvanan and Nandan, Abhikalp Srivastav, Anish Adiga, Reginald Robinson, Kimaya Virle, Mayank Bhandari, Shreyas Pathak, Ilam Parthi. Hi Ilam Parthi. I don't know if you're there in the first two sessions, but welcome to you. Moksh Nair, Nivantka Veragoda. So let people join in. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you that there's going to be an online tournament tomorrow. It's Fisher Random. So the link of registering for it is in the description, so you can register for it. But I wanted to show you how it feels to play a game of Fisher Random, and so I want to show you the process. So the process is that you need to have, first of all, play chess installed. If you don't have that already, then just go to online shop on chessbase india over here. Chessbase.in is the website, and just type play chess and you will see that it's for free. So just buy it for no cost, absolutely. Download it and install it. Once you install it, you can open it, log in with your chessbase account. The steps of creating an account are also given. Yeah, it's a free one. And then I enter the room and someone can join me. You know how you can play chess 960 is in these rooms. There's a thematic room here. Okay, so if you go to the thematic room and you go to chess 960 tournaments, this is where it's going to be held. Chess 960 tournaments. Let me see if someone can come here and we can play a chess 960 game. Okay, so all you have to do is come to through play chess if you already have it installed, into thematic chess and chess 960, and I want to play one game, maybe Nachiket. Yeah, let's play 3 plus 1 against Nachiket. I'm going to seek for 3 plus 1, and we'll see if if we can play against Nachiket. Aha, you can't see the screen. Oh, okay. Let me just move it something here. Maybe now you can see over here. This is chess 960, and here is where the tournament is going to take place. I don't know if Nachiket got my okay, Ilam Parthi. Let's play with Ilam Parthi. Maybe that would be fun. Okay, who has received it? Yash Gore has got it. Okay, someone else. So you see all the pieces are in different squares. Let's see if Yash Gore can play it. He plays e4. Now you can see e5 looks normal, but my queen is on b8. Actually, only the knights have interchanged. Maybe it's not such an unusual position. But you see, all the opening theory is thrown out of the window. We we go to knight c6. Okay, Rui Lopez. I'm going to play d6 now, or should I do something else? Okay, let's stay solid. Let's stay solid. D4. Okay, interesting move. Can I take? You take. Take. Maybe bishop d7 looks interesting. Ah, now you can play d5, huh? You took. Okay, I will also take. Knight c3. Okay, so I have the bishop pair, that's good news. But he's threatening to win the e5 pawn, and maybe I can take. Bishop d7. It's funny, yeah, like we are having a chess opening class, and I'm playing chess 960s to just do away with the opening, but it's just to tell you guys that it's going to be good fun. Yes, Yash has castled perfectly here. All you need to do is move your king like this. Here it's normal position, so you know how to castle, but otherwise you just have to touch your king and rook like this and they castle, or king and rook this side and they castle. Okay, bishop g5. Maybe bishop e7. You can take and play knight d5, but I'm not too worried about it. Let's go castles. It's quite a normal game like position, yeah, like knight f5. Maybe I can just take it. Should not be bad. Just take. And now can I do rook e8? I was thinking of rook e8. White has some space, but I want to play c6 d5 and just claim that I'm doing okay. Queen c1, okay, c6. Maybe rook e7, bishop f6. Okay, I don't like f3 so much because now I think black is doing fine in this position. Okay, bishop here, maybe just queen d8. I could play bd6, but then rook e8. Not too keen. Queen c8 was also another option. Okay, check. Let's push him back. And now can I do bishop f2? That seems to win material, yeah. Bishop f2. And if you move the rook, then rook takes e2. Otherwise, yeah, that's a piece. Queen d1, maybe just queen e7. Okay, that was a good win. Yeah, well, next game we can play once the class is done. Try to double here. But I just wanted to show you guys that chess 960 is actually an interesting format to play. Okay, take on f6. f5 is hanging. I think I can go queen g5. Queen b3. Can I do bishop b6? Now threatening a mate in one. a4. That's not going to work. Okay, so So the thing is, if any of you want to participate, can come. Basically, can go to Chessbase India homepage, and this is the tournament. And as you can see, a lot of top players are playing, from Sethuraman to SL Narayanan, Vaibhav Suri, Gukesh, Ronak Sadhwani, Stani, Shyam Sundar. So many top players. AI Puli has contributed $10 for super chat and says, "Keep hello from California." Okay, that's going to be quite late in California, and he says, "Keep the content coming on the Nimzo Indian." Yes, well, we're going to study just that in a bit. But yes, you enroll for this, you pay your entry fee here. Over here, and then you can download the play chess software from the shop over here, which is for free. If you just go to online shop and type play chess, you download it, and then once you are downloaded, you can log into it and go to chess 960 rooms. Here chess 9, you go to thematic chess first, and inside it you will see chess 960, and then you can play a game, and it will be very interesting chess 960 tournaments. There are 13 people already here. We're going to play maybe later with all of you, but for now let's come back to the, you can stay here, maybe we can have a game later, but for now let's come back to the Nimzo Indian. Yes. Okay, so I hope you are ready for today's class, and today I'm going to start off with something very, very interesting. I am going to take you back in time this time, and this time it's going to be 82 years ago. Okay, so 82 years ago, that's 1938, and we are going to see the game between Botvinnik versus Capablanca. Okay, so d4 was played, knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, and now we saw yesterday on day one we saw bishop g5, which is the Leningrad. We saw a3, that was yesterday, and a3 is actually kind of interchangeable with e3, because sometimes you go e3 c5 a3 and then you reach the same position. So a3 was played in this game. Sorry, e3 was played by Botvinnik, and then came here d5. I would recommend you to play c5 to stay in our territory, but d5 is a move that I want to talk about here. So I, being a Nimzo Indian player, I always used to think that you should give your opponents doubled pawns here. Like for example, let's say a3, I will take, and I will play my pawn to c5. And my logic was, you give your opponent double pawns and then you restrain them like this. I never thought that actually you can play d5. I didn't like this way of playing where you undouble your opponent's pawns. But there is a logic behind that. When you take, you are actually controlling the center. You open up your bishop, you have free development, and although white has the bishop pair, it's still a quite playable position, for both sides. So that's the reason why in this game, after d5, which is playable move, Botvinnik played a3. And this is also my recommendation for someone who's playing with the white pieces, but also with black. I just want to show you this entire theme, because we already looked at we will look at e3 c5 soon, but I want you to also have a look at d5. A3 takes, and now c5. So white took CD, ED. And let's talk about this structure a bit, because I think for me it was an important learning in my chess career to understand this structure in detail. So, all those who are here and watching this, tell me, what do you feel about this position? Do you think white is better? Do you think black is better? What are the imbalances in this position? Who is having the edge? What are the subtleties, the little nuances in this position? And how should white develop his pieces? Honi Aurora Fat Fritz, if you want to operate, you need Fritz 17 first of all, or you need Ducats to play it on the chess base cloud. Otherwise, you cannot use it. Welcome, Shashank, and also welcome to Mayur. All of you are a bit late, but better late than not coming. Yeah. Black has the knight. Yash Gupta says white has more solidity. Okay. Anirban Mandal says white has better pawn structure. Okay. Omkar Brahmabhat says white is better because I like Karokan structure. Okay. White is better, says Shrey Baheti. Bishop pair. Yeah, in general, I mean, white looks better in this position because he has the bishop pair, also the very strong center, um, which is fortified because the pawn came to c3. But black has very free development. He can develop his knight, he can put his bishop out, he can castle, he can put his rook on e8. So all in all, for Capablanca, who was a very classical player, it felt like black has no problems. But Botvinnik showed to him what are the problems in this position. So first of all, Botvinnik said, I have to think of a way to put my pieces. So where will this bishop stand the best? He saw that d3 looks like a good square. What about the knight? Now can go to f3, that looks good, but the knight can also go to e2. Now this is a very interesting concept. You put your bishop on d3 and you put your knight on e2, and then you have them behind your pawns so that your pawns are free to move. And so this entire concept of putting your bishop to d3, knight to e2, then pawn to f3, castles, knight jumps to g3, and then pushing e4 is something that White actually came up with. Botvinnik came up with this entire concept, which was not well known in 1938, and he won this game beautifully. So let's have a look. He played the move bishop d3, castles, knight g2, b6, castles, and bishop a6 was played. Now the point of bishop a6 is that this bishop is pretty strong, so why don't we exchange it? Uh, Capablanca, Botvinnik took on a6, but he could also just continue with knight g3 and allow white to take, basically black to take, and then it's the same position that happened in the game. He played his queen to d3 was better, but he played bishop b2, now queen d7, threatening to come here, a4. I mean, if you move the queen, say for example queen d3, then queen a4. That was the point, not directly, because that would be a queen loss. Reginald Robinson says, why not c4? You mean in this position, c4 would be possible by closing this bishop, but after bishop c2, white can play f3, e4 with more power, like knight g2, knight g3, and then e4. And somehow this bishop will anyway open up, or you could even open it via a4 and bishop a3. So bishop a6 takes bishop b2, queen d7, a4, rook e8, which is always a good move that you can play. But better could have been also to take and play rook fc8, with the idea of rook c4 and rook c8, creating a lot of play on the queen side. So rook e8, queen d3, c4, and now after queen c2, you will see that this is a big positional mistake of c4, because now white, if he gets in e4, his central pawns will be very strong. Capablanca actually thought that, if I can get my knight to b3, then I would be better. But it's just too slow. Like he went knight b8, rook e1, knight c6, knight g3, knight a5, f3. By the way, one question to all of you here is, what do you play for knight to e4 in this position? It's white to move. What do you play? Knight e4. What should white play here? Should he exchange the knight? Well, f3, Sumedh, maybe, but then I can take on g3 and somehow doesn't look great. Yeah, f3 suggestions I don't like so much. Everyone wants to play f3. The problem with f3, in my opinion, is that he can take on g3 and take on g3 and somehow, yes, e4 may be possible, but I could even play f5 here. And then this bishop is not so great. And playing e4 may not be too good an idea. Take, 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 take. And then the knight could later on come to d5. Somehow doesn't look good. Yeah, Suraj Lohani, I like your move very much. Suraj, that's a good answer. Anyone else who's found the move? Yeah, knight e2 is also interesting. All those who say knight e2 is good, but knight h1 is a nice move because you can't really stop f3, then the knight coming back to g3 and then pushing e4. So knight h1 is like saying white has more space in the center and I want more pieces there. I don't want to exchange them. So just for example, let's say you go rook d8, just not a great move, but f3, knight f6, and now knight g3 with the idea of e4, and I think white will be better in this position. So knight h1 was a good move. So knight a5 was played in the game, f3, plan continues, knight b3, e4, and you will see that black managed to win the pawn here, but in that has taken a lot of time because white went e5, knight d7, and now queen f2. Just if you go f4, then there is a threat of knight c5, moving the knight away and then trying to get it to d3. But instead, Botvinnik quickly realized that he can just remove the queen and the knight will be stuck here forever. G6, now f4, and f5, if it comes in, that would be game over. So he played f5. Now ef, knight takes f6, f5 anyway, rook takes, rook e8. Now rook e6 was played, which was a powerful move. Takes, pawn takes, king g7 defending the knight, queen f4 threatening to come in somehow here, queen e8, queen e5, and now queen to e7, and we reach a very famous position actually in chess history. This next move is well known to every young kid who's serious about chess. So I would like to ask here the crowd, around 400 people, can anyone tell me what should white play? This is actually a beautiful move. Try to calculate what's happening. White to move here. What should white play here? It's white to move. Yes, black had several ways to improve his play a bit by bit, but in general, this structure started to be, everyone started to feel that white is better because of this entire plan, like bishop d3, knight e2, f3, knight g3, and so on. We'll come to it. Very good. Okay, I have a lot of answers. Sumed Ramteke, you are right. Sai Shrivardhan Ram, Narayanan Manikam, Dev Marsha, Shrey Bahiti, Rajat Gururaj, Geeta Ritesh, Narayan Manikan, Mitesh Borkhetaria, Tinku Sahad. Very good, guys. All of you have got it right. Krithiga has also got it right. Siddharth has got it right. Practical thinking, very good. This is the right answer, and I'm very glad that all of you have found it. The right move is bishop a3, and this came as a big surprise to Botvinnik, to Capablanca, who was not expecting this. What's the point? If I take the bishop, what's happening? Why did you sacrifice? I hope not for e7, because after queen a4 I can go and defend that pawn. What should white play here? Very powerful move after queen takes a3. Not e7. E7, then queen a4 just stops it. Yeah, Sai Shrivardhan Ram, you are right. Siddharth, you are absolutely right. New Patel, you are also right. Sumed Ramteke, no, not queen c7. Geeta Ritesh, you are right. Pankaj Panchal, yes. The right move now comes. Bishop a3 was a shock, but knight h5 is another brilliant move. You can't take with the knight, it is pinned. Otherwise, I'm taking your knight, so you have to take with the pawn. Now comes a check. King f8, check. King g8, and e7. And now there were some moves which were played like checks, but somehow there are not enough checks in the position, and Botvinnik managed to win this after king h5. Black resigned because queen f8 mate is coming, and if you try to save it, then e8 queen would be winning completely. So I hope you like this game. The most important part of the game, of course, you must remember this bishop a3 move, and then after takes knight h5 check. This is how you win. But the most important concept to learn was in this position. This structure was for many years considered favorable for white because of this game, where Botvinnik went bd3, knight e2, castles, put his knight on g3, played f3, e4, and got a very good position overall. Like central pawns, once they start to roll, you can see how powerful they are. So tell me the name of the white player, tell me the name of the black player, tell me the name of the tournament, and tell me the year. Who can do that? Four things. White, who was black, which was the tournament, and which was the year. See, the thing is, if you remember these details, you will be like, why don't I play the plan in this game that was tried in this year? Why don't I do that? But if you forget the name, then yeah, it might not be so easy. So tell me, who was white, who was black, which tournament, and which year? Yes, Sumed, you are right. Botvinnik, Capablanca, but you didn't give me the other two details. Yes, Anudeep Anup got the year right. Can anyone tell me the tournament? Who gets Shashank got The player's right, but not the year right. I'm looking for four things. Pradeep Pathare made Botvinnik born in 1838. No, no, not 1838. He was not alive then. Yeah, no one is able to guess the tournament, I think. While everyone gets the year and the players right. Yeah, Martin Helseth Oxendel has got it. Very good. He says Botvinnik Capablanca 1938 Avro tournament in the Netherlands. Very good, Martin. That's excellent answer. You have got it right. Also, Siddharth Shri Kumar has got it. It is Botvinnik versus Capablanca. You can think of Botvinnik. I don't know which year Botvinnik was born. I'll just check. Botvinnik Mikhail was born in the year 1911, so he was just 27 years at that point, and Capablanca was a veteran at that point. Let me just check what was Capablanca's age. Never really knew their date of birth. 88. So Capablanca was 50 years old, taking on the young 27-year-old, something like Carlson Anand at that point. And Botvinnik said, Capablanca was like, hey, you are a young kid, you don't understand chess. I have great structure, I have free place, piece development. Botvinnik was like, no, I'm going to put my pieces like this nicely, castle, knight to g3, push my central pawns forward. And so that's how it worked out in the end. And for many years, people followed this plan blindly, blindly in the sense it worked brilliantly. I will show you one of my games now. This was in 2007. So after Botvinnik played, this is after 69 years. And I was playing against Jayankur Chaugule, who's a good player from I think Sangli or Kolhapur, somewhere at that place. Jayankur Chaugule is a strong player. His rating was 2193. I was 2169. I opened d4, and now what you need to help me is with white moves. Okay, so you are white, I'm black, and you have to help me with all the moves of black or white. Okay, d4 knight f6, c4 e6, nc3 bishop b4, e3. Okay, played, and Jayankur played d5. So now, firstly, what should white play? Okay, all those who are asking how to pay or something, maybe you are asking how to pay for the super chat. You have a dollar sign below, and we also have a Google Pay link, so you can make payment there. If you enjoy something, you can always contribute. So, what should white play? Yes, Raman Chandrakar, you are absolutely right. Narayanan, Pradeep, Kimaya, very good. A3, that's the right move. So he took. He played castles. Now I took, he took. What should I play here with white? Let's see if you can play like Botvinnik here. Or you can play like Sagar, whatever you like. If you're a Botvinnik fan, play like Botvinnik. If you are, well, not fan, but say a student of this class, Sagar student, then you can also play like me. White to move. Yes, A3, the last position, lot of people got it right. I'm very happy to see that. Rajat Gururaj, yes, you are right. Kimaya Virle, you are right. Oh, so many messages, just unable to follow. It sometimes becomes difficult with so many people. I know someone was saying you can do slow chat or something, but I don't know how to activate it. Yeah, BD3 is absolutely correct. All those who have mentioned BD3, very well done. That's the move I played. Oops, I don't want to show all these arrows. Now, He played the move b6. What should I do next? Very good. All those who were saying BD3. By the way, a lot of people are saying we are learning the Nimzo from black perspective. Why are you showing it from white? Well, the thing is, you never learn an opening from just one color. You can learn it from both sides. You can apply it from both sides. And I'm not going to just show you from white's perspective. I'm also going to show you from from black, what he can do in this opening. Yes, knight e2. All those who mention knight e2, well done. Getting your knight behind the structure as rightly pointed out by Botvinnik. Now bishop a6. Here if I would have played like Botvinnik, I could have taken, which I did in the game. So I took, knight takes, and I had actually seen this game. So there it was said that you must play queen d3, attack this knight. So I did that. He went knight b8, I castled, and now instead of c5, he played the move knight to c6. So what do you play here with white? White to move. What should white play here? Yeah, knight g3. All those who say knight g3, well done. Also f3 comes to mind. F3 followed by knight g3. It's the same plan in this position. But I was also thinking in the game about c4, as I think Raiz Ahmad Khan has mentioned. C4 is an interesting move, and I was actually thinking for quite some time because my opponent hasn't played c5, so I could just play this move, and I think I can claim a small edge here because he may, I can take, and then I have these strong pawns. So maybe I'm just better. But I went knight g3. I wanted to follow Botvinnik. He went knight a5. And now, yes, f3 is a possible move, but I want you to think a little bit more on a different line and tell me what should white play here. Because to f3, I was a little bit tensed about knight b3, and then he takes my bishop. Of course, it's nothing to be afraid of, but still, it's something. So white has a nice move here if you think about it. White to move. What do you play? Manoj Joseph says, thank you, sir. You are explaining slow and in detail, which helps me to understand the ideas. Very good, Manoj. I'm glad you're enjoying, and thank you so much for your contribution. Yes, I think Siddhartha has got it right. The Dhanraj Patil as well is trying to find out people who have come up with this creative idea that I played in the game. Actually, it's not creative, it has been played many times. Ilam Parthi mentions rook b1, but I felt somehow that my rook has to come somewhere on e2, or if I play f3, it should swing to f2, and so I played this move rook to a2, which is an interesting move. I want to go with my rook to f2 or e2. Okay, c5 was played, and I went f3, and now he went rook to c8 in the game. So you see, I'm following Botvinnik's ideas, and somehow I thought that, well, he's allowing me, let's play e4. This does look good. So I took on d4, and here I think he made a mistake, which was knight to c4, blocking the c file. It's important to actually stay active, and maybe queen c7 with the idea of something like this. Yeah, it doesn't look great, sorry, but maybe not queen c7. What, rook c4 perhaps? The idea queen c7, and I am not sure, but playing on the queen side with rook c4 or queen c4 might be a better choice, like queen c7, queen c4, than knight c4, because it just blocks the file. So now I went e5, knight d7, and you know the next move, which is f4. I'm coming forward. He played b5, and I played this move, queen f3, attacking this pawn. He played queen b6, which was a nice move. I didn't really want to take here, because after rook c d8 you can see that this pawn could become a weakness and a target, like queen e4, knight e5, rook takes d4, and yeah, bishop e3 looks a good move. Yeah, but maybe not knight e5, something else could be possible, say knight b8, but then yeah, it doesn't look great like in general, but I was afraid of giving him counterplay, so I just went rook d1. He played rook d8. I played rook f2, blocking the pin, and then after knight b8 I finally got my pawn in f6, and now it was time to cash in with knight h5. You will see that my knight, queen, and bishop will coordinate really well. And fe, f6, e4, queen g4, good move, g6, and now maybe you can finish off the game. Maybe you can calculate it here. How should white play, and how should white finish off his opponent? Well, e6 was possible, Rima, but my main aim was to actually open up the position, and that's why I played this way, like knight h5, gave a pawn, f6, and gave another pawn. Yeah, Maria Almeida, you are right. Rima Singh, you are right. Rajat Gururaj, you are also right. Very good. Anushka Bhatt, you are absolutely right. The Prathamesh Divekar, who else? Varun Kodikal, yes, Ilam Parthi. The move is f7, fantastic move. And if you take, then rook takes. I mean, king g7 is not possible. King h8 looks bad because of, I think, bishop h6. Just looks powerful. So he took. Rook f1, king g8, knight f6, king h8, queen h4, threatening a mate. And now after rook d7, uh, basically he could play queen to c7, but then there was knight h7 here, which would have ended, because if queen h7, then there is queen into d8, winning the, so rook d7, and now after take, queen d4 check, king h1. He resigned because after, say, knight d7, you have queen d8 check, and you win a piece. So this was pretty brutal game, but you could also see the basic idea of this entire thing was to play like Botvinnik, which was to slowly build up a center, here, like in the opening, he's giving up his bishop and giving you a very solid center. So you take on d5, then you put your bishop here, put your knight here, castles, play f3, think of e4, try to get your knight to g3, get your rook from a2 to e2 or f2. Maybe the bishop will sit on b2 later to center to control these pawns in the center, and this gives white an advantage. Well, although so I think you get an idea of what I'm trying to say. uh, Let me just tell you now the current theory status in this position, that after c5, knight e2, just going to see the same thing, b6, things improve, things go through. For example, lines which were always considered better for white soon become, with new engines, new analysis, playable for black. And this is exactly what has happened with this line, because after castles, bishop a6, and now either take, or it doesn't matter, like even if I play knight g3, bishop a6, this is a position, or you take on a6, knight a6, queen d3, knight b8, you reach the same position, knight c6. Yeah. So f3, and now rook f e8. This is one of the main positions. Why to actually, first of all, I want to play e4, but it's impossible because d4 pawn is hanging. So let's say, for example, rook e8, e4 is not possible. I take, and I win a pawn, okay, with the queen or the knight. So he plays here bishop b2, one move. This is one of the main moves. Or he can play rook a2 with the idea of first transferring the rook to e2 and then bishop b2. These are the two possibilities. But bishop b2, let's have a look at that. And now here the main move is c4. So because you can't go to c2 with the idea of e4 because e3 is hanging. So you have to play queen d2 here. And now I want you to think of a very typical move in this structure. This is a very common idea for black. White, if he gets rook a e1 and e4 with the idea of e5, f4, f5, we already know is very dangerous. So black to move. What would you play here? Reginald, knight c7 is possible, knight c7, knight e6, but I prefer my knight to be on c6. It keeps pressure on d4, and also you can play rook e8 with the idea of attacking, keeping the e file open. RG Chess World says how to remember all lines in such positions. Well, when I give you homework with the database, go through it. That helps you to remember. Not knight a5. Knight a5 would be like playing like Botvinnik, like Capablanca. You play here, I come here, then you attack, and then I move my queen, and then next move I go e4, and then you are in trouble. There's a more powerful move in this position. Let me see if anybody can find it. It's actually this position after queen d2, black's move here. No, 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 no one has found it yet. I'm surprised. No one is able to get this idea. No, it's not usual that if I wait for so long, no one can find this move. Yes, Ilam Parthi, you're the first one who's found it. Very good. Very good. Anyone else? Funny Verma. Very good. Funny Verma has found it. Now I imagine a lot of people getting it. Sachinar. Narayanan Manikam, yeah, Rahul Kedge. So the right move is h5, and this you must remember because he wants to play e4, and for that he needs his knight. If you are in time to actually dislodge the knight, then that's great, like knight h1, and you can play say rook e6 here with the idea, or maybe b5 with the idea of a5 b4, creating a lot of play before white can actually execute the move e4. Okay, and knight coming to f2 will be less favorable than the knight on g3. So anyway, this move h5 h4 is very interesting. Okay, so well done guys. Yash says I was first. Okay, Yash, I'm glad you also found it. So that was a small overview of the botanic line in the Nimzo Indian. Very important to know this, all these things in this opening about this structure, how to place the pieces, what are the ideas, how can black combat it. Black can put the knight here later, rook e8. Also b6, bb7 is a ba6 is a good idea without developing your knight to exchange a pair of bishops. Okay. I'm going to now move on to one more interest. Yeah, knight f5. All those who said in that position knight f5, the reason why that doesn't work often, let me just check. Not here. Sorry. Yeah, queen h5, rook a1, h4, knight d7, and yeah, the idea is to play queen to d7. Suppose I play, and this is a general trap that if you take, I will play a g5. But here in this case, I mean, it traps the knight. I'm worried about e4. So instead of doing this, maybe I could also play h3 first. You take, then it weakens the structure a bit, and after g4 maybe I can push back with g3. It's possible, but this h5 h4 h3 is at least very interesting, like knight f5, h3, and then maybe queen d7 with the idea of pushing g6. Okay, so now let's move to another line, another important thing which I want to cover. I wanted to give you a bit of an overview of this system with E3. We'll cover it in more detail, like after the fourth move E3 here. But I wanted to show you that how after D5, A3 can be an interesting move to consider. It's and Carlson and guys have come up with a lot of new ideas, not in this, but what we will look at now. But this is what we looked at right now: d5 and a3, the botwinic plan. Okay, now what I want to see with you guys is the move f3. Okay, can anyone tell me what this system is called with the move f3? Well, d5 is playable, in the previous position. What do you do here? Yeah, it's called Saemisch. And what should black play in this position? After f3. This is actually a very, very well-known system that has been used by several top players, especially players like Vidit. plays it very regularly. In fact, he recently beat Kramnik in last year's Vaikanze with this move. Also, he beat Aronian recently with this move. Yes, it's the Saemisch system. Uh, Now, when f3 is played, I would really like to play d5. That is one of the things which makes Zamish very interesting, because I'm playing d5, you play a3, I'll take, and now I will play c5. CD is necessary. If he plays e3, I'm wondering what can be played, but I have a feeling that DC, bishop c4, queen c7 with the idea of some pressure down the c file, also playing knight c6, e5 looks pretty good. So usually white will take, and now I recommend taking with the knight. Of course, you can take with the pawn, and after e3, play like the Botvinnik Capablanca structure where f3 may be a little bit too soon, and e3, this allows actually a new sort of idea, which is c4, preventing the bishop from coming to d3. If I'm not mistaken, this was played by Carlsen. This was also Vidit Kramnik, and was also played by Anand Carlsen. So Carlsen, in their World Championship match, this was the move that was played by Carlsen and he won. But it is very dangerous because you're taking away the pressure from the center, the tension, and now a good move can be g4 with the idea of knight e2, knight g3, bg2 castle, and playing for e4 break. But I like knight d5. Knight d5 is like I'm threatening now to take here, and white has one main move in this position, which is to play d into c5. This is a good move, and the point is you really don't want to take the pawn, because after take, this bishop will become a monster on this diagonal completely. So taking that pawn makes no sense. Queen to a5 was played, and now e4. Now think about this position and tell me, what would you play here as black to move. Black to move, please give me a second and try to find out what should black play in this position. Okay, have you been able to find the answer? Let me just see how many of you want to take the pawn on c3. All those who said queen takes c3 or knight c3, that is not a good move, because first of all, queen c3, bd2, and somehow, what is happening in this position is that these two bishops are going to be monsters. It's a position where you in the opening have given up your bishop, and you are trying to kind of keep it semi closed. So e4 is not possible because of knight c3 and cd4. So therefore white actually first takes on c5. There's no other good move, in the position. So he takes, and you play queen f5, and now he plays e4. So if you take knight c3, there is always queen d2, which creates a lot of problems. Uh, and if you take queen c3, then after bd2, once again you can't take here rook c1, and you lose the bishop. So the right move, and there are two moves basically, knight e7 and knight f6. But let's go for knight f6 here. You can look at this line in more detail. Knight e7 is also possible, but I would say, yeah, taking on c3 is not a very good idea. And now white usually plays bishop e3, defending the pawn here. Once again, if you take on c3, king f2, and white is just very happy. You opened up more lines. My rook can come here. My knight can join in, and don't take this. These pawns are weaklings. Let's not take them very quickly. If you can win this pawn cleanly on c5, that would be nice. So castles, and now the main move is queen to b3. And here, this knight could go to c6, it could go to d7, it could go to a6. We are not sure yet. So I would say let's keep that knight flexible and play knight d7 with the idea of at some point taking here. Okay, two moves possible. First, queen b4. What do you play here? Of course, you don't want to exchange the queens, and so the right move is queen back to c7. And later on, you can play knight c6 to a5 or knight c6 to e5, and you have a playable position. What's the question? Why not queen c3, bd2, queen e5? You mean in this position? Queen c3, well, take bd2, queen e5. Yeah, just knight e2. I mean, it's not more a question of winning a pawn, it's more like you're just letting him open up things. And that's what is not so great, like bishop c3, queen. I don't even like taking this pawn on c5, because then maybe just take and rook c1 and you are losing material. So queen g5 is possible, and then you can think of some ideas here, like first of all queen d6 is possible, h4 can be an idea, and lot of different things for white. So knight f6, bishop e3, castles, queen b3, and now I want to play knight d7. If queen b4, I want to come back. So a4 is a good move, and one of the main reasons is that you can play knight e2, but then knight c5 is strong, because queen b4 is what white wants to play, and in a way he's forcing queen into b4 because there's a double attack here, but there's knight d3 check because the bishop is blocked. So that's the reason why first a4 is just kind of a semi-waiting move, asking white if you are going to take here, which would be a mistake because of queen b4, and white is fine. So a4, black says I'll go back, threatening to take on c5, and now queen goes to a3. And this is where I want you to take some time here and come up with a move for black. What would you play here as black? Think well, think properly, and it's a very nice move. I like it very much. Black to move. Jan Murdoch, you are late. You're going to start it from the beginning. Okay, good. Black to move here. What would you play? You see a4, he tried to support his pawn with queen on a3. He could have played queen b4, but then knight c6 comes with a tempo. So he played queen a3. Ah, very good. Anubhav Gupta has got it right. Also Geeta Ritesh, well done. Ilam Parthi, excellent job. Very good. I'm in company of some very strong chess players here, because I would think all the time about how to win this pawn back. like knight a6, but then maybe he takes and knight e2, and perhaps I may be unsuccessful in winning the pawn. um, so instead of trying to win it, you just play the move b6, and this is really good. The point is that after cb, ab, yes, you are a pawn down, but you get two open files, sort of semi-open files, and there's pressure down to the c pawn, pressure down to the a4 pawn, and that's the reason why black is doing really well. Just for example, here you play your bishop to a6, exchange those bishops, put your knight on c5, either of them, and then put a lot of pressure on c3 or a4, and it works very well. Very good. All those who said B6, well done. By the way, to B6, the main idea is that you force white to take. Now, I can remember a position. I can actually, when I remember something, I can find a game. I had a coach whose name, so I'm going to share my screen, whose name was Joseph Horvath. And whenever he remembered something like a position which was similar, he would tell me about a game and he would search it. So you need a mega database in chessbase. This is the mega database. I hope you can see the screen well. Okay. And here I think the game was Kasparov. No, it was, yeah, Kasparov and Korchnoi. And Korchnoi's name in mega database is a little bit funny. It's Korchnoi, and you search it, and so many games. And actually, I think it was one of their initial encounters, the first game of the candidate semi-final. And I'm going to ask you to guess the moves. By the way, this is replay training. We can look at this: knight f6, c4. You can see there are points for every move. e6. I think it was b6. Yeah, bishop b7, a3, d5, cd, knight d, e3, g6, bishop d5, c6, bd3, bg7, e4 takes, castles. He didn't play castle. He played c5, bg5. I don't know. Queen c7. Queen d6, e5, queen d7, dc, and here Korchnoi could have taken back the pawn, but instead I think he just castled, and then he played this, and you can see the themes are very similar. He wants to attack down the a file. There's this weakness. He wants to create attack down the c file. These two pawns are weak, so he's ready to actually sacrifice this pawn and take back and play for these outposts as well. Sorry, knight a6 to c5, or knight c6 to a5, and so on. It was a nice game actually, and I think it was one of the first games. It was between Kasparov and Korchnoi, and Korchnoi managed to win it. It was in the candidate semi-final, but then Kasparov subsequently won many of their battles. Okay, I hope that you were able to understand this concept, but also the fact of how to use mega database to prepare. Okay. Okay, coming back to the position now. Here, CBAB gives good compensation. A5 is a possible move. I think it's a nice move. But then you can take A6, stopping bishop B7, C4, Queen A5, knight b6, knight h3, e5, and black has kind of an equal game in this position. Um, Now, many of you actually ask me what is the best way in which we can maintain our opening files. It's never easy to maintain opening files, but I have one suggestion to all of you which can be very useful. So once again, let me share my screen with you. So as you see, this is a database in chessbase. So what I do is now f3 line, all the theory of f3 line is in the first file here, and all the related games come after it. So if you can make such folders, such databases inside your Nimzo Indian folder, so f3, then I spoke about bg5 Leningrad, I gave theory and then I gave you three games. You can put the theory here and then put the games below it, and then you do it for also Saemisch variation, for A3 variation, so on. What will happen is that whenever some new game is played in this line, you can always add it here. So here there are four games. You can add the fifth game and you can update your theory file. So here I give only the gist of this opening. So you can see it's a small file, but only the main ideas, and then the other ideas are in the game. It goes, all the analysis is done of the games in the database, and I think this is very useful because you are able to not just remember the theory. Whenever you want to revise, you can just click here and revise it, and whenever you want to see detailed games, you can check it below it. The way to prepare this is by chessbase and mega database, and I think it is very useful for any ambitious player to have chessbase 15 and mega database 2020. In case anyone would want to use it, then there's a link to buy it in the description, so please do buy it. Okay. I will just show you one more game that I played. This was f3 system against Nishant Malhotra. He's a strong player from Delhi. And let me just get that game. I played with him in Sri Lanka, and I think Sri Lanka was one of my good events that I played. Okay, yeah. So I was black, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, f3. I'm going to ask you what should black play. Let's understand the opening from your answers. Black to move, what do you play? Rahul Kadge, the difference between chessbase is that chessbase is the software in which you have many databases. One of them is mega database. You have others as well. Mega database is actually the biggest database in the world. So chessbase has the tools to mine mega database, to find games, the filter box that opened up right now, and all of it is in chessbase. But the mega database, when you open it, you can find so many games in your openings. Very good. D5 is the correct move as mentioned by all of you. D5. So Nishant played A3. Now I took. And what should I play now? Black to move. The reason why I'm playing d5, I generally don't like d5. I mean, now I like it, but back then. But because white has played f3, this simple move becomes very strong because knight can no longer develop to that square. Yes, c5 is the correct move. This is what I played as well. He took on d5, and now what should black play? Black to move. If you take here ed, then after e3 we have a similar structure to Botvinnik Capablanca. So what's the move here? After cd, what should black play? Yes, knight d5, correct. Take on d5 with the knight. Nishant took on c5. Now what's the move after dc5? What should black play? Should you take the pawn on c3 or should you not? What's the right move? After knight d5, dc5. Yes, Rajat Gururaj, Raman Chandrakar. Very good. Geeta Ritesh, maybe you want to say queen a5, but you are writing queen h5. Shivam Chaudhary, you are right. Saujo 147, you are right. Narayanan Manikam, good job. Reshma Dulgaj, Mohammad Mansoor, Nidish Govekar, excellent work. The right answer is queen to a5, attacking the c3 pawn, also c5 pawn. Don't know which one I want to take, but I just developed my queen to a good square. e4, and where should I go back with my knight? Here the knight can go back to two squares, knight f6 and knight e7, but the better move is knight, I mean not the better move, but the one which I recommend is knight to f6, bishop e3, castles, queen d2. This was a bad move because we have seen queen b3 is the better way to play, and then after knight b7 you have a4, queen c7, queen a3, b6. This is what we just checked, but in the game he played the move queen d2. I don't like this move so much. I just continued with knight d f7, knight f d7, and he played the move queen b2. Now the question is, what would you play here? After queen b2, black to move, would you take the pawn on c5? Would you take on c5 or would you play something else? b6 now possible. I actually like the move b6. It's always a good idea if you play b6, take, and then you get these two semi-open files. But first I decided to test him a bit, and very good. Reshma Dulgaj, you are right. Neev Patel, you are absolutely right. Also Rajat Gururaj, Haidar Yasmin, Gita Ritesh. Yeah, queen c7, Shivam Chaudhary as well. You want to take on c5 but not exchange the queens when he comes to b4. So he played bishop b5 and I was very surprised. I was thinking he may play queen b4, but I was going to go knight c6, knight a5 and b6. This was anyway the plan with a good position. But he went bishop b5 and just allowed me knight c5, and after knight h3, a6, queen b4, b6 was played, bishop e2, knight c6, and e5. And I think black has equalized. Black is going to go bishop e6 if he gets a chance, knight a5. Looking at all these weaknesses, it seems like black is doing great. So this is how the F3 system takes place. I've given you quite an easy way to play against the F3 system. If there is something that I have missed, please let me know. Maybe we can cover that. But I want to play D5. And nowadays, after A3, all the players are also thinking about going back. But I have recommended you to take on C3 because going back allows E4 lines, which you have to be careful about, like take e5 is one move, and also instead of e5 there is also c5 move in this position. And we come to some very well known games, the recent one being with it beating Aronian in this line. Shashank, you are right. I think even if I played here rook d8, I was thinking of this move in the game, but then queen b2, knight d7, rook d1. I didn't like this kind of pin here down the d file, and that's the reason why I decided not to play rook d8. But your move is good actually; it's not so bad, and take on c5 here. Okay, now we're coming close to the end of Nimzo Indian. I think there are only two more lines, two major lines, E3 and Queen C2. But we are covering a lot of ground, and I hope that you are learning a lot, because it's not just about the opening, it's about the structures, it's about classical games, it's about knowing a lot of things in chess. And this has always been the idea of what I am doing, is to give you a kind of glimpse of the entire thing, what you are learning. Yes, Susmita says there was a game of Anand Carlsen in this opening. You are absolutely right. Navirat says what to play if c4 for nd5. Yeah, well, just knight c3 and cd4 looks good. I guess winning a pawn, so that doesn't work. Okay, let's just recap whatever we have learned today. What did we learn today? We learned on day 1 Leningrad, on day 2 we learned about A3 system, and now on day 4, sorry, day 3, let's learn, let's write down what we have learned, because that is always very useful. So we learned about day 3 is about Saemisch. I can say Botvinnik Capablanca is what we learned. Just trying to fix it, and then I can show you my screen. 1 second. Yeah, maybe now you can have a look at it here. Botvinnik Capablanca, and you all know the year and also the place, so I'm going to just note it down. Avro 1938. And then we also had a look at Sagar versus Jayankur in the same opening, and also did we see one more game? Just checking. No. After that, we looked at 4 F3 systems, which is also known as Saemisch, and the games that we looked here were against Nishant Malhotra, I want to also add a bit more about what was learning from Capablanca's game. It was to build a strong center with BD3, knight E2, F3, knight G3, and playing aggressively, and check the game Jayankur Sagar in this. And F3 systems, Nishant Sagar, but also what was very important is that you play classically with the d5, take on d5 with the knight, and then you must remember the pawn sacrifice with b6. Okay, so that's what we learned today, and I hope that you had a good time learning today. So many different things to learn from these systems of Nimzo. We're not just opening from white side, from black side. Keep your mind open. Don't get transfixed. Don't get fixed like, oh, Sagar said this is the move. I must play it. I'm sending you the PGN file. That's the reason. Do your own research. Try to come up with good ideas. Yes, we also looked at Kasparov Korchnoi. Well done. I should add that. Kasparov Korchnoi is the game. Oops, sorry, I didn't get the spelling of Korchnoi. No, no. Maybe. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that ends today's class. I hope you learned a lot. There are links in the description. I have, first of all, BKT Chess 960 event that I have, where I would like you to participate tomorrow if you can. That would be very nice. Chess 960. You can subscribe to our newsletter so that you get updates of whatever I'm teaching. You can buy ChessBase 15 and Mega Database, and there is also a link to buy just ChessBase 15. And lastly, there's a Google Pay ID in case you enjoy these sessions and would like to contribute. Please do so from there. I think before we end, maybe one game of Chess 960 can be played. If we go to the room here, let me see if anyone is present there. In the room, there are several of you here. Let's play against whom shall we play? Siddharth S says, can you play with me? Okay, let's try to play with Siddharth S. I'm going to just seek for 3 plus 1 here. By the way, to all those who are thinking, what is this? This is play chess. In that, you come to thematic rooms, thematic chess, and inside thematic chess is chess 960 tournaments. And I am. This is where the tournament will be held tomorrow, and it will be chess 960, so you can see how the pieces are in all different order. So there's no opening theory as such. But once again, I don't like the fact that the king is in the center, the rooks are on the side. It makes it kind of obvious, I have the queen on the nice diagonal already. Knight f3, knight c6. Knight c3, d6, bishop c4, knight f6, d3. Can I go bishop g4? Aha, the thumbnail story is what I missed. So the thumbnail was basically I was playing at the Aeroflot Open, and this is the end of the tournament. I was there with Pragnananda, Vaishali, Arvind Chidambaram, and the tournament had ended. So I was under the impression that they will now relax and enjoy. In fact, Pragnananda had made his second IM norm there. Turns out that after it ended, they all started playing blitz. They wanted to play blitz, and they were just unstoppable. They were playing one game after another, not at all stopping. And it was such a joy to see them all playing chess, playing blitz. It was amazing. And this is what actually made me realize that sometimes, in order to become a good chess player, all that you need is interest in chess, that you enjoy the game, and that is all that is required. You don't need to win prizes, you don't need to come first in your events. what you need is just an ability to enjoy chess, and that was what they were doing. I think Siddharth has blundered his f3 pawn here. You can just pick it up. Seems like a juicy pawn. Take. Maybe queen to e3. White has to play a little bit risky chess now because otherwise he's just going to lose. He's a pawn down. Um, Always there are tricks in a position, so you have to be careful. Just thinking of playing knight to d4. Seems like a good square. If I get an opportunity, I'll play b5. h4, I wanted to go h5. Stop all his play down there. Maybe knight h5 was also good instead of h5. Rook to g1. Mhm. Can I go b5 now? Bishop d5. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I had not considered. I was more looking to, but now this is interesting because he gets some attacking chances. If I take knight takes, and then yeah, I have some problems to fix. Maybe I can sack an exchange here. b4. Take queen a8 because bc3. I'm not liking bc3, and then yeah, let's take this. Knight e2 maybe looks good. Knight e2, knight e6. Yeah, knight e6, knight g3, f4. Mhm. Okay, let's play knight to g4. f5. Siddharth likes to attack. Let's take. Take. Can I go queen f3 check? Seems risky for him already. Where do I go? Check here. Check. And now maybe knight f4. Rook takes g4. Okay, take. This should be not good for him. I can go into the end game, which is kind of better for me. But knight g2, king f1 seems should be better, yeah. Then king d1. Okay, take, and yeah, that was the trap which I was looking for. Now you can try to win on time, but I have 1 second increment, so should be sufficient to win. Okay, Siddharth. Maybe you can resign, but maybe you can also play on. Okay, nice game. I think this F5 was just too reckless. Maybe here something else could have been better. Ah, Amruta is here. Amruta, shall we play a game?
Nobody
Rebel
else is
Lioness.
challenging you.
Can you challenge me? Rebel Lioness is Amruta. So this
No,
is
that's
just
not me. But nobody else wants to play with you.
no. There are so many people,
So
but
play with other
no,
people.
I've played enough. I just want people to come and play against me. Uh,
I
play
also want to.
against top GMs tomorrow in this tournament. So
Can't challenge you. I'm too low rated.
yeah, but basically I have. Okay, so guys, try to register for this event. It's a nice initiative by Chessbase India along with Buddhibal Krida Trust to do this event with a prize fund of 35,000, first prize 11,000. So please play it, and it would be nice to have all of you there. Just register for it, and I'll see you there. Okay, and tomorrow I'll see you at 11 o'clock, and we will be coming towards the end of Nimzo, and then we'll move to other openings as well. It's not just one opening. Okay, thumbnail story I just said, and okay, so we'll I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks a lot for this. I wanted to play with Amruta one game, but somehow I am not able to.
Why?
I can't challenge you.
Ah, you too, yeah? One moment.
Padamesh
I'll
and
try
Harsh
then.
Pandit are playing each other. Good, Padamesh. Somehow all positions are coming the same, yeah.
No. Ah, this one. But yes. Yesterday when we played it was very different. But good, I think a few players are playing.
Yeah, you can play here, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for attending. Bye bye.